Hey everyone, and welcome to All Time 2. Today we're checking out something new and looking at 5 things you won't believe are real. So like this video, subscribe now, and let's get into this absurd nonsense. When a major tsunami hit Japan back in 2011, the radioactive fallout from the nearby Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant contaminated 30 miles in every direction of surrounding land and water. Even beyond the evacuation zone, soil samples showed trace amounts of radiation. So to help restore the land, sunflowers and other plants known to absorb radioactive particles were planted. In fact, more than 8 million sunflowers were planted in the first 6 months. And as it turns out, this was not the first time this has been tried. Many sunflowers were planted around Chernobyl in the 1990s as well. Back on July 24, 1997, NASA was sued by 3 men from Yemen for trespassing on Mars. The 3 men said that they owned the red planet and claimed that they have the documents to prove it. We inherited the planet from our ancestors 3,000 years ago. Sojourner and Pathfinder, which are owned by the United States government, landed on Mars and began exploring it without informing us or seeking our approval, the men claim. They demanded the suspension of all operations on Mars until a court could deliver its verdict. They also asked that NASA refrain from disclosing any information pertaining to Mars's atmosphere, surface, or gravity before receiving approval from them, or until a verdict is reached. The judge overseeing the case, unsurprisingly, dismissed it. The Nintendo Entertainment System launch title Duck Hunt is in fact not a single-player game. In fact, it's meant to be played with 2 players. Player 1 shoots the ducks with the NES Zapper, while Player 2 uses a second controller to control the ducks. Apparently, this fact was lost to time, and many people to this day still believe that Duck Hunt is a single-player game. Did you know that the former border between East and West Germany is still visible from space today? Why, you might ask? Well, because of the different kinds of light bulbs used in these regions. If looked down upon from space, you can see a different color hue due to the differing bulbs used in each region. Fascinating. Here's an especially weird one. The coast of Brittany, France, has had Garfield phones washing ashore since the 1980s. Yes, literally phones designed to look like the cartoon cat Garfield. These orange phones have been washing up and subsequently cleaned up for decades. Only in 2019 was the mystery finally solved. It turns out that a shipping container filled with Garfield phones had been lost at sea back in the 1980s and ended up in a nearby secluded sea cave. And because of local ocean currents, these phones have continually ended up on this French coast for decades. At least we can now say this case is closed. Thank you all so much for watching. Did you enjoy this random nonsense? Were any of these too weird to believe, or did you believe them all? I'd love to hear it all in the comments below. Honey is the only food item which never rots. And as far as we know, a jar of honey can remain edible for at least 3,000 years. As long as the lid stays on it and no water is added to it, honey will not go bad. Yummy.